This is Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are joined today by Paul Koretz. He is a member of the Los Angeles City Council. And sir, you had been very vocal against what was known as the Trade Promotion Authority Agreement, the Fast Track Agreement, which was looking at creating a free trade zone with 12 countries. Recently, the Senate passed Fast Track, the House did not. What do you make of it?
Well, I think that's a good thing. And there were some very problematic provisions. We don't know every word that was in it because, frankly, we only know about it through leaks. It's all done behind closed doors. But the area of greatest concern for me is the difficulty in addressing climate change once trade agreements like this pass, because there are abilities for countries and corporations to sue countries that are doing local alternative energy. So in past agreements, there have been situations like Ontario, Canada, which built up a huge solar program, and Japan sued them for doing local solar. And now they're not doing solar in Ontario. Now they're back to fossil fuels. This kind of regression where we see ourselves in climate change and no, we have to act dramatically and act now.
But could Congress not, as part of the TPA, included in the mandates, in the directives, that protection be put in to prevent that type of action? It
would appear that they couldn't. They certainly couldn't guarantee it because the president would have flexibility to negotiate essentially what he wanted and come back and it's just an up and down vote. And it's much harder to cast an up and down vote against an agreement that's finalized and your president is bringing to you.
But the flip side is, how is the president supposed to negotiate with 12 nations when the 12 nations know that there is no way to guarantee that the Congress would vote yes or no, because now the Congress has to go back and is able to look at it and is able to slice and dice it?
Well, there's no guarantee that a trade agreement passes under that circumstance. It certainly makes it more difficult. But for me, it's an easy choice. It's either do you sign an extra trade agreement that helps our economy a little bit, or
is it a little bit, though? I mean,
it's a real question.
The TPP would have covered 40% of the world's economy.
I mean, you look at NAFTA, it's certainly questionable whether we benefited by losing 800,000 some odd jobs.
Well, but that depends how you slice and dice the figures. And, you know, Mexico and Canada would have been part of the TPP.
Right. What I'm saying, though, is a little better, a little worse. I don't really care that much. I think it's a choice between a little better trade deal or the future of the planet. If this could actually jeopardize our ability to do more alternative energy right here in Los Angeles, and we could be sued for it, and our program stopped in its tracks, there's no way for the future of this country, the future of the world, with the climate change mess we're in, that we can afford to take that chance.
So how do we build trade relations now? How do we open more markets, given that this deal, as we speak today, seems to have fallen apart? Who knows what could happen in a few weeks?
I'm not sure you can't do it a country at a time. And I believe this mostly targeted Japan. And Japan is probably the worst offender because it was Japan that sued Ontario, Canada to kill their solar program, which devastated all their climate change activities.
But what about building more markets for our products? I mean, it really is the future, no?
I can't tell you that in terms of economics. What I've seen is massive loss of jobs. But again, that's not my primary concern. My primary concern is the future of the planet and the future of the human race. And I think TPP would have jeopardized that.
No trade agreement. Exactly. It won't matter. His name is Paul Koretz. He is a member of the Los Angeles City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. This is Time Warner Cable's local edition.